What is up, my friends, and welcome to match number 2 of our doubleheader here in the Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. My name's Bullskunk alongside Chef Billy, and we're bringing you a Tier 3 action here for the second half of our action this evening. And this Tier 3 matchup is going to be between Seattle Peaks and Neptune. Both teams coming in 1 and 2. Billy, what do we know about these teams coming into Week 4?
Well, okay, Seattle Peaks, they come in 1 and 2 on the season, and you know, the score line for them, they beat Rise, which is one of the newer teams in the league. So, you know, they take the win there 3-2. They go all 5 maps in Week 1. Then they put up a couple of goose eggs against some of our more legacy orgs. I mean, they lost to Apollo. That's not a surprise because Apollo Tier 3 has been around forever. Rugby and Beach and team there.
And looking very strong this season already.
They're one of the they're one of the strong contenders to take the Tier 3 title this year.
Yes,
personally, my personal take. So that's not a surprise. But Reborn, that's kind of a head scratcher. That's kind of a mixed match team. And from what I spoke with Echo still during my research and fighting facts stage that I do for these teams, he says that they all come from Seattle. I also lived in Seattle for a long time, just so you know, Echo. So they all apparently are IRL friends as well. So they've been playing. They tried to get to season 6 of the CGL MTT, but they did not get in on time. So they've actually been waiting an entire year just about to get into the match. They've
been training the whole last year for this.
Yep. On the other side, Neptune Esports is my new org. I said that, I think I said on the Sunday cast that I had some big news and big things were coming for me. I actually got signed to Neptune Esports. I'm on their Tier 1 team now. So
I was going to say, not the same tier, just to clarify.
Not the same tier. Yeah.
Not on this tier, so, you know.
Nope. But they lose 1-3 in Week 1 to Estrantia. Estrantia is another one of those teams, Bullskunk, that we've been talking about a lot.
Yes.
That is going to be one of those teams that's going to be there at the end. So the 1-3 there, I actually good for them to get a map off of them because a lot of people have not gotten a map off of Estrantia this year.
Yeah, that says a lot in of itself, no doubt.
Big win against Lords Tier 3. They win it in 5. They go 3-2 over Lords. And then Octalium. We saw them in DDCO over the summer. They were a pretty ferocious team as well. So the 0-4 there, I don't think is anything indicative of anything wrong with the team. I just think that they just got steamrolled. Maybe the hero bands really screwed with them.
Sounds like both teams still kind of trying to find their footing here in Season 7, so that's the case.
Yep, I honestly think that's what the case is. So as we go, as we look at it here, you know, we got to get the hero bands out of the way. We got to get the map pools set up because this is going to be a cracker of a match, I believe. As we're looking at the hero bands, we've got Zarya Farah, Symmetra, and the most impactful one, as I've mentioned all week so far, Lucio. Losing that speed has really hampered a lot of these teams. And then the map pool, we're going to start out in Oasis, travel to beautiful Numbani. We'll freeze our butts off in Volskaya and end up on Route 66 in the desert. And if we do happen to be tied 2-2 at the end of that, we will go to beautiful China, as we just did in our last match, a cracker, a mind blower of a match. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You better show me the same thing, Neptune and Seattle Peaks, because we got to go ahead and get it started.
Yep, Li Zhang is our tiebreaker here in Week 4. Of course, these 4 map sets, we do play all 4 maps despite whatever the outcome. Map port's ever important, as there's a lot of teams tied right now in the top of these tiers. Both these teams are looking to break the tie. We are both 1 and 2 going into Week 4.
I don't know. Getting that second win is always the best feeling, especially when it's a game that you feel like you're competitive in. I mean, Estrantia and Apollo Tier 3, I mean, those are 2 juggernauts, and both these teams got the floor wiped with them. I mean, Estrantia, at least Neptune versus Estrantia got a map off of them. So, you know, I hope that the preparations coming into this week's match for them, I think that they feel like they should win.
Baby, can you not do this right now? Sorry.
Okay. So 12
that was
seconds.
backwards there.
I didn't know you called me baby.
No, my better half walked in, was starting to clean up there, was blocking my vision. I couldn't see my TV. I apologize. I thought I was muting when I was unmuting, so, well, there you have it. But yes, we are going to get Seattle Peaks coming in with the dive. I like it. What do you think, Billy?
You know I love dive. Let's go.
Oh, man. And then we're going to get the Reaper Tracer coming out on the other side as the team's wasting 0 time, clashing up with a high ground. What an interesting little DPS battle coming through. Mania going down. Zenyatta goes down as well. And it is going to be Seattle Peaks coming through with first control, getting things started off here on Oasis.
Yeah, but that was a bit of an odd clash there at the very beginning there. And we've got double dive going on. So, yeah, that to me is very interesting to see. So, I mean, this is basically ham and dive for them, minus the Lucio. I would think that you'd want to throw the Lucio into the, or I'm sorry, the Moira into the mix on the side of Seattle Peaks, but it seems to be serving them well so far.
And we're going to get second engagement coming through, 20% on the board. It's going to be the 2 DPS diving in, getting 2 kills, but Rez coming through, and Seattle Peaks answering right back, finding themselves a kill onto that Mercy. Ramblix finds himself one, and this is just an all-out chaotic engagement here. It does look like Neptune will emerge with the point, rising from the dust.
Yeah, I mean, good stuff from the tanks there. The tanks, I mean, the DPS kind of had a nice little move in there, but the tanks really cleaned up and fortified the point there. You've got mines available for fetal position 27, though. I'm going to giggle pretty much every time I say that tonight, and a pulse bomb available for Echo still. So this could be also a very interesting little point here. The dive from both sides. I love it.
Yes, chaotic indeed as Protocol with that blade ready to go, trying to chase down the Mercy, finds that kill, but they lose both their supports on the side of Seattle Peaks. Now they're going to be forced to frag out with a quickness. I don't know if they got the sustain to do it. Protocol whittled down to 23 health as he is forced back to the top of that center pillar. Mines coming out on the side of Seattle Peaks as well. They do manage to move in, find the kill onto the Moira. As Mania gets himself one, make that 2 kills there for the Doomfist here for Neptune. And it looks like they are going to maintain control as they eclipse Seattle Peaks there in the scoreline.
Rambik showing a little bit of tactical crouch prowess. Full 6-pack of ultimates available for Neptune right now as they are going up 60%. As far as their capture progress, both bombs are going to be available for them. So this is going to be an old extravaganza coming up very soon. It's just a matter of how you stack them.
Ramblix diving in first, Primal online, and it's going to go ahead and come out directly. Here comes the Coalescence in conjunction with the Diva Bomb. 3 ultimates flying, make that 4. Mania dropping his Meteor Strike into the mix as well. We did get Vikaras with his rally, able to keep majority of his team alive, but both the DPS on the side of Seattle had dropped. That's still 4 ultimates and only yielded 2 kills. They are going to get a little bit of cleanup in the end, and it is one last fight here for Seattle to push in and make something happen in our opening round.
Yeah, and they're just keeping this baby diva alive forever.
Nasty stagger in. Here comes some mines. Oh, no. That was an interesting set of mines. I'm not quite sure where they look like two mines fell onto the objective there. Kill come through onto the Mercy, though. No more res. The Moira whittled down super low. Protocol going to find that kill as well. Now he's going to dive in looking for more, trying to turn his attention onto the Diva. Diva team mech. And it does look like Seattle Peaks will get this thing flipped over, and not a moment too soon.
Yeah, not a moment too soon, and they also have the all-important self-destruct available to them, whereas Neptune pretty much blew their entire wad there as far as ultimates, and they have nothing to show for it. 2 kills out of 4 ultimates, that's not very good ultimate management, so you've got to think, if they had some of these in their back pocket right now, this recontest would be a whole hell of a lot easier for them, but, stranger things have happened.
And good news for them is Seattle Peaks didn't really save much of their own. Just Diva Bomb online here for the blue team. And too early. Make that 3 early kills coming through Protocol with a nice 2K that opens things up. Echo still getting the all-important Mercy. Following it up with a kill onto the Winston there. And Seattle Peaks making short work of that engagement.
Well, fortunately for Neptune now, because it did happen so fast, they will have time to recontest, and Tour Julius's self-destruct just came online, also Coalescence available, and you're going to have probably Primal Rage in the middle of the first fight here. So, depending on where this bomb lands and what they do to counteract it is what's really going to change this point. Good for naught.
Diva Bomb to open things up as the overtime week starts to burn. 99-99. Whoever wins this fight's going to win our opening round. And the Diva Bomb on the side of Seattle finds 2. Coalescence coming through from King of Camels, looking to even things up. And indeed, Lord Shiatsu manages to get the tie and kill. 4v4 here on the objective. Pulse Bomb going on to the Winston, but he's raged up. He's got 1,000 health. Meanwhile, Protocol smashing into the back line of Neptune, finds both supports. Fetal position manages to get a kill with that, and Seattle Peaks narrowly edging out opening round 1-0 here on Oasis.
Well, if this is anything to look forward to, Mr. Bullskunk, we're in for another 5-map series. We saw this happen earlier this evening in the Tier 5 match between Valid Prestige and Galaxy Nova. Back and forth on the first map. It ended up going 2-1 Galaxy Nova, but on the back of some really singularly good play from both sides. Once again, we're seeing the DPS. We're seeing the Doomfist come out once again, Bullskunk, for both sides, and they are absolutely fragging out. We have to remember Cinder from our last match, just absolutely crushing it on the Doomfist player. As we come out now, seeing the same little rollout from Neptune, except for Lord Shiatsu going on to the Sombra.
Sticking here with that ham and going in and diving in, already 25% towards his ultimate there. Gets hacked up, forced to back out. Protocol. Tag it in, goes in, finds himself a kill, takes down his counterpart Doomfist, then falls over a nice punch onto the break. 2 opening picks here for Protocol on the Doom. Now turns his attention onto the Summer. She goes invisible, narrowly eluding the punch. Nevertheless, it is going to be Seattle getting percentage started for us here on Gardens.
The player that I was told to watch out for the Seattle Peaks was their off-tank player, Ryoku says so. And Ryoku says so. Has been fragging out and taking care of Rambix in this Winston. You've got, I think it's time for a change of meta here, because they're just getting absolutely owned here. I know that we went 199 last, but yeah, it was oof.
Nice focus fire coming through from Neptune. They're going to get Bikaras out early, but Echo still answers right back. 5v5 here on the objective. Protocol on that Doomfist, a big difference maker so far here today, and lands a good punch onto the Moira, then taking out a ton of sustain available there for Neptune. Nevertheless, Rambix able to clean up, finds himself the kills onto those 2 DPS. Now you just have a hacked ball and a very low diva left on the objective here for Seattle, but they're going to stall out for as much time as they possibly can before Neptune flips this thing.
Yep, absolutely, and the flip is coming right now. 51% for Seattle on their first foray onto the university here, or the Gardens here. Yeah, almost a 5-pack. Well, it's Mania going off of the Doomfist and onto the McCree now, picking up the Cowboy, looking for a little bit of range damage for them. Yeah.
They're not careful. They're just about to get this thing up for free. Oh my goodness, about 85% picked up there for Seattle without even being contested in the slightest. Mine's coming over the objective from them as well, but here comes the Primal Rage. Rambix looking to hang on, and he's got a rally to back him up. Pulse Bomb takes out his Moira. And Rez going back in onto Protocol. So this is looking like a little bit of an edge here for Seattle, despite the best efforts of their tank line. Rambix does eventually go down. Protocol finds himself too, looking for more. Meteor Strike in his pocket, doesn't even have to use it. 3K coming through for Protocol on the Doomfist. There's the Sombra. Can he get the 4? He's looking for 4. Is it going to be the Moira? Is it going to be the Sombra? Can he find it? There it is. Does get the Moira down. Great play from Protocol coming through on that engagement.
I think that you kill yourself at that point. You get off the map. You stop feeding the ultimate charge, because that fed him. Yeah, got him another. Well, he already had the Meteor Strike available to him. But I mean, you're feeding everybody else on the team ultimate charge when you go in like that, and you stay there.
going in deep. Had the Meteor Strike as a get out of jail free card. Diva Bomb coming in on the side of Seattle Peaks as well. But here's Mania trying to strike back with his Deadeye. Does not find what he's looking for. But there's a Tracer ready. Stuns him. But can't find the kill. Oh, it does eventually get Echo Still, who could not flee to safety. Now turning his attention. Baby Diva goes down. Everybody trying to focus down Mania, but he has got an answer. The Peacekeeper doing just that. Keeping some peace, and with the overtime wick starting to burn, Neptune, they're going to get this thing right back under their control.
Now, good thing is that Lord Shiatsu is actually getting his EMPs pretty darn quickly throughout these fights. So, you know, he prevented the take earlier with an EMP, and they ended up fragging out on it. So he's got it again. I think you need to play for this EMP bomb combo as the capture progress goes up. Also, you've got the all-important rally. The rally has been really a nicely used ultimate that we've seen tonight.
We do have Echo still going over to Soldier 76 here. Not quite sure the thinking behind this one. Perhaps to counter the McCree, but I think you're going to lose that fight. Maybe stay a little bit mobile with the rest of his composition. But that Brig, always important, right getting in the midst, in the thick of it. Here comes Rambix countering back. Diva Bomb thrown in from Neptune as well. And Lord Shiatsu gets the kill on the Protocol, hacked and deleted. And that is a very important one, as Protocol has been leading this charge, but he is rezzed up. Back on the playing field here. Now we're going to get Mania trying to throw a dead end. Didn't quite find what he wanted. It's the Mines in fetal position, actually coming up with some goods. Echo still on this Soldier, 90% towards his tac visor. 2 kills on the board. And Seattle Peaks flipping this point. 99-99 in the objective. If they can hold on here, they will take Oasis and map 1. Big EMP coming through, and the entirety of Seattle Peaks is hacked. But Seattle still finding the kills, and now the hack has gone away. The tac visor on the map, and that's going to close it out. 1-0 lead here for Seattle Peaks.
Head scratchers for me right now. The bomb usage, the self-destruct usage from Tour Julius. Yeah, it was. He threw the bomb towards their spawn instead of saving it to be used on the point as a point of either zoning or to kill with. So for me, that was a bit of a head scratcher. The self-destruct usage from Neptune, But you know, this Protocol player, I haven't seen him before, and he's absolutely fragging the F out right now.
Having a great night on the Doomfist so far, no doubt, no doubt.
The only real counter that I've seen to him was the Brigida for Neptune, and then once Mania went over to the McCree, using the flashbang to kind of keep him in check, and then Lord Shiatsu also getting the hacks in on him, but he was still killing people.
He was still finding value throughout. 2 swaps to hard counter him. He still manages to find some room to work. We'll be keeping an eye on Protocol for this whole match, and I think that's going to be a theme here. That's going to be a thread. What can Neptune do to shut him down? Can they find an answer to Protocol? And will Protocol continue to use that Doomfist as we go into our more attack and defend style maps, as we will be heading into hybrid here next, and that's going to be Numbani here in week 4.
Yeah, Numbani, I mean, it's typically one of those maps that everybody hates. And you know, there was a little bit of a bug earlier in the week where it was actually crashing people's games just playing the map. So I guess they got the quick fix in on that.
That's fortunate. That is fortunate.
Yeah. So what do I expect to see coming out from this side now? Neptune will be on the attack. You've got to change the eye level. You've got to either get some better long-range damage, but I mean, Echo's still coming in on that. Soldier 76 actually lit it up and was almost 2 attack visor just as soon as he came in. So
yeah, you could tell by the ult charge how much work he was doing on that Soldier. That was nutty.
I want to see, you know, how are they going to counter the DPS right now, because the DPS is carrying them right now.
Well, as you just mentioned, we will be headed to Numbani for map number 2.
I don't know.
Here in our map pool for week number 4. What were you saying there, Billy?
I think what I want to see is they were also really split, like massively split. Like the Sombra and the Winston were behind that little middle thing with the Mega in it. And and the rest of the team was on the point fighting, and there was no like coming together until things started happening on the point, and they're like, "Oh crap, gotta go." So play together is one of the things that I need to see from Neptune happening, because right now they're playing two separate games right now, and it's really disjointed.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. A little more coordination, a little more focus fire coming through from Neptune will go a long way. And we saw glimpses of brilliance. There were times where their dive was definitely on the right target. You could see the callouts were there, and I think that there were times where it just wasn't. I don't know if players were moving in without the callouts, or if they weren't calling out their targets, or if everybody's shouting different targets. But it seemed to not be consistent in that. If they can tighten that up, I mean, they can certainly turn this thing around, no doubts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the focus fire is there, then the dive works.
Right.
Why not bring double shield in if it wasn't working though? As we've seen,
we'll see if they can adapt. Yeah, we've seen a lot of double shield here in week 4. We'll see if either of these teams choose to go that route here heading into our hybrid matchup. Do we have any subs coming in as we're heading into map number 2?
We do have a swap coming in. Mania is going out for Neptune Esports in the DPS department. I had to do it. It was there.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Nail it.
That was good.
Oh gosh, I've got the ready up from both teams, and we're gonna go in there as Yo comes in here now.
Oh my
we like
goodness!
To have fun here, ladies and gentlemen. So don't you ever say that we don't have fun here on Bull Skunk Channel.
No doubts. No doubts. Oh okay. My! Oh me! Oh my! Oh me! Oh my! We're just full of dad jokes, bad puns. And a little goofiness from time to time.
I mean, double headers always makes me a little goofy, so yeah. I have fun though. I have fun, and it's fun to see my my org's tier 3 team play, because I gave them a little grief that I was going to absolutely slam them in the broadcast tonight, and of course I would never do anything like that. I'm way too professional for that, but I do call it how I see it, and I see right now that they're going to be on the offense, and they're going to go ahead and be bringing out the Widowmaker.
Yes, indeed, Lord Shiatsu going with the sniper. Looks like Rambik's doing a little roll swap. Yo will play tank here for Neptune, with Rambix going over to the Genji on the side of the defense. Echo still sticking with Soldier 76 here. Just planted up on the back right high ground. Protocol sticking with his Doomfist. And Dive Tanks once again with the Break Mercy on the side of Seattle Peaks here, as they're looking to defend point A on Numbani to start things off. Initial attack coming through onto the high ground above Mega. Protocol right there to keep him in check. But Lord Shiatsu finds the kill on the fetal position, and then Winston down. The only bubble available here is now missing on the side of the defense, and that's going to be Neptune's cue to push right on in, but they got to watch out for Protocol diving into their backlines. Zenyatta gone over. What a sleep dart! Weak flautist, excuse me. Or is that flutist? Yeah, we're going to go with flautist. Able to get a killer sleep dart down, the Ana player for Neptune. Lord Shiatsu coming through the big pick, but Yo drops that res coming through on the side of the defense. Protocol asleep once again, but Echo still there to back up his counterpart DPS. The defense will hold on here for the first engagement.
Yeah, here we go again. Lord Shiatsu again on the Widowmaker, taking down the star player so far for the Seattle Peaks. They've got to deny the res. They've got to be a little bit more aggressive here.
Genji Blade coming through. It's going to find a D-Mech. Just a completely unassisted Blade going in. It's not something you see very often, but Bikaras answered right back. It's the kill onto the Zin. Protocol on this Doomfist. He's just having free reign down there, and then Echo still up on the high ground. He just jumps onto point, throws down Tac Visor, cleans house. 2 kills coming through for Echo still with the Tac Visor, and the defense holding strong here on point A.
Once again, it's disjointed attacks. The Winston was out in Narnia, as my coaches tell me. He was out in Narnia with no support. And I mean, you could have been getting capture progress on the point. I'm scratching my head right now with the decisions from the main tanks for Neptune right now.
Well, and just as we say that, you see the two tanks try to approach that top left corner, and it's just two tanks and a Baptiste. Now, I guess trying to give room, hoping the Widowmaker can sit on this outside sideline and find a pick across the way, but just gets pounced by Protocol right there on top of the Widow, and that Widow will not counter that Doomfist. And no way, no how, no day of the week is that going to work with Protocol just all up in your grill, swinging for the fences with that big fist of his. And this defense looking indomitable on point A here so far.
The defense, or the DPS players for Seattle Peaks right now are having their way whenever they want to have it. And that's because there's absolutely zero pressure going into their DPS lines. They are playing split much better than the DPS duo from Neptune. Also, Yo going off of the Winston onto the Reinhardt now for a little bit more stability and shielding.
They're also making some DPS swaps. Rambix going over to the Reaper, and now he's going to circle around, try to go up to that high ground, see if he can clean him off of that space. Meanwhile, Lord Shiatsu coming out with the Soldier here, coming off of the Widowmaker, just going to stick with his shielding, see if they can put as much damage down as they can on that front line. Diva Bomb coming out on the side of the defense, and that had found one. Here comes... excuse me, Diva Bomb did not find much. It was on the other way around. The attacking team's Diva Bomb that had gotten that kill earlier. Fetal position responding back, though. Throws the Primal Rage in the mix, gets himself one, but now he's down to as low as 200 health. Rambix in there on that Reaper, just doing so much damage. Does eventually come up with that pick. Now trying to turn attention on Mercy. Mercy down. Shotguns find Dome of the Mercy. The Diva does not last long. Big 3K coming through for Rambix on the Reaper before he finally gets taken out by the Soldier. In the end, though, Echo still able to throw Attack Visor down, pick up two, clean up this point a little bit. Protocol coming back on the Doomfist and gets one as well. And with time dwindling down, Protocol gets the kill on the King of Camels, and this is going to be a full hold on Numbani for Seattle Peaks.
You pop Transcendence and then don't proceed onto the point. That's 400 heal or 300 healing per second during the duration of that ult, and you guys go up around and go to high ground instead of progressing on the point when you're up a person. And Rambix getting a 3K on the Reaper and still not being able to get zero progress onto the point here. That is absolutely mind-boggling that nothing happened there. Oof. That was ouch a little bit.
It's a fantastic defense. I mean, Seattle never looked thrown off in the slightest. Just playing their game, having their way here on Numbani. And now, win conditions set, a clean opportunity for them to move in and take a 2-0 lead here in today's match.
Yeah, I mean, that is the absolute best defense I've seen on the Numbani side here yet. So, echoing what I see here, Echo is going to echo what Lord Shiatsu did and bring the French assassin out. Also, they're going to run the Genji into it, running as close to a dive as you can here with Karis on the Brigitte. Brigitte has been very prominent in today's matches so far. But now we see what we should have seen last round, a Junkrat. I called for Junkrat all night, and I get to see it again here.
Funny enough, basing off of your puns there, the character Echo will be available for week 5, if I've got my information correct.
You are correct, available on Monday.
So we'll see Hero 32 in the mix-up, but that won't be until next week at the Here and Now. It's going to be Seattle Peaks diving up to the high ground here, coming through. Protocol going over to that Genji to help the two dive tanks, sticking with the the Winston Diva as they move on to attack. Protocol coming up with the first pick. They do lose their Diva to that turret, but they've already got such an edge. Fetal position clean in house on this point. The Torbjorn trying to move in, see if he can hold on. Rambix popping his overload, popping his shots, but cannot find anything that he is looking for. And that is a very quick point A and a very quick 2-0 lead here for Seattle Peaks.
You know, as we go into halftime here, Bull Skunk, questions have to be asked of what the situation is. It seems very disjointed for me from this side because your main tank and a DPS player off in no man's land, and the core of your group is over here trying to take the point, and they're going up against both DPS, a tank, and both supports. It's boggling to me what I've seen so far. I think you got to tighten it up and take a look at what's going on, because what was going on right now is not working for the side of Neptune Esports as they go down 2-0. As we head into halftime, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break here as we swap sides and do our intermission work. But we will be back with you guys in just a few moments. Don't go away.
Welcome back, my friends. We are here in the back half of our second match of the night in the console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. Seattle Peaks up 2-0 at the half over Neptune Esports here in the Tier 3 division. Billy, this has been one-sided affair so far, or a very much one-sided affair, I should say. What can Neptune do to claw their way back into this thing?
Change the tanks up. Winston is not working. Based upon what the defense or what Seattle Peaks has run against them, they're getting outclassed right now. That's really the only thing. The DPS is outclassing Neptune's DPS line right now. So as we go into Volskaya, I'm looking to see kind of a meta shift for them personally as a team. Lord Shatsu was getting some really good picks with the Widow, but there's no follow-up. And, the supports for Seattle Peaks right now are doing an amazing job of keeping their team up, especially running Brigitte Mercy. You wouldn't think that the healing would be there, but it is in spades. And they ran a Baptiste on attack in the Immortality.
It honestly sounds perfect for dive. The Brig Mercy does. I mean, I was more concerned about the Moira on the other side. The Moira for Neptune not able to. You don't have the grouped up clump of tanks, that you need for a Moira to really get value. And I wonder if Neptune wouldn't have been better off going with a Mercy.
I mean, and the other thing is that they never denied the res. Correct. They never denied the res coming out from Out for Blood. So that being said, it was just weird. The comps just seemed a little bit disjointed, and I think the comms, maybe it's a comm issue too. I don't really know as far as that, but we do have a substitute coming in. We've got Supa coming in for Weak Flautist in the healer role, and then Mania coming in for Yo. As he left the lobby.
The Bastion comp out of the side of the defense here. Lord Shiatsu on the Sombra. The rest of the team sitting on this far back left high ground, sitting up on top of the catwalks up here. Looks like Seattle Peaks, who are now in the red jerseys and starting us off on the attacking team, are going to get Protocol on the Hanzo, try to get him up on that high ground, see if we can put some pressure down onto that Bastion. Meanwhile, the Wrecking Ball Orisa front line making their way up there. Wrecking Ball doing a nice little move, get a little side flank, but he had to dip out of there. Discord Ord on his head. But it is going to be Echo drawing first blood, taking down the Orisa, and what an important kill to find. Great focus fire coming through from Seattle Peaks, and now the Bastion has nothing to hide behind, and the capture progress just ticking right on up here for Seattle Peaks.
Yep, and Echo still and Protocol once again leading the charge into Neptune's backline, and also taking out Super Hot Fire on the Orisa here, as we get a little bit of a roll swap from what we have normally laid out. But I mean, once again, there's the focus fire that's not there. It's the rotations that aren't being as clearly delineated as you might want to think. So I mean, just the damage pouring into these shields is destroying Neptune right now.
Attack Visor coming out to open things up, gets the kill onto the counterpart Orisa. Ate a rock, but it didn't stop him. Echo still going to town here. Mania drops, lands the rockets onto King of Camels. And now, no more support standing here for the defense, and this is looking to be easy pickings here for Seattle Peaks as they're just moving on, claiming ground and claiming Volskaya as their own supercharger. Valkyrie and Mines thrown into the mix. Dragons thrown out as well, and 5 minutes and 6 seconds left in this time bank as Russia belongs to Seattle Peaks right now.
That was brutal. You very rarely see a positive time gain coming into Volskaya Point B and actually capturing it with a positive gain of time instead of the timer going down in the time bank. So what needs to happen right now is Neptune needs to come out with a fire under their butts. They need to come out fully charged and just absolutely steamroll Seattle Peaks right now. I need to see some tenacity. I need to see some fight back because right now it looks like they've kind of I don't want to say they've given up, but I want to see the fight. I want to see the fight back. You and I talk about this all the time when we see a team go down 2-0 in a series. This can be brought back. This can be brought back right now. You can go in there and you can absolutely own these people and then get all that confidence right back. It's a game of confidence. It's a team game. So play as a team, play as a positive team, and get it done. Because they obviously have the skills to do it. So let's see what they got coming out.
I worry this attack line they're showing is not gonna cut it. Defense of Seattle Peaks coming out with a little bit of a Risa Sigma protocol on the Junkrat. How are you going to close the distance on that Junkrat? Well, Neptune's opting for a Reinhardt Hog. Mania going over to the Reaper. I think the only chance they have is Lord Shiatsu. Lord Shiatsu on this Hanzo. It's going to need to come up big and take out the DPS on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the shield break is greater. You've only got one shield. You've got the spam coming in from Protocol. So, I mean, that Reinhardt shield is not going to last very long at all.
So far, Seattle Peaks doing a good job of keeping Neptune in check here. And Seattle just kind of rotating back, kiting a little bit, hanging out in front of the Mega on the left side here from the defensive point of view. Oh, it's going to be two coming up with the big pick there on the Hog. Opening things up. Shiatsu trying to look for more there on the top of box, force back down, eat some shots coming out of Echoes still. But Rambix already with an Amp Matrix online, and Neptune battling their way into some great position here, claiming a lot of space here on this objective. Now the Brig trying to work around, see if they can find it. The tire comes out from Protocol. Oh my goodness, the DPS lineup are just too good here for Seattle Peaks.
I mean, Tue Julius, you know, Tue in French means kill, and Julius, I'm assuming that's a reference to Kill Caesar. So, I mean, right now, the Neptune, I mean, that was a great push into the point, and Julius taking down the main tank very quickly in the engagement, but the follow-up just wasn't enough. The sustain is there, and also they've got a third healer on their team right now in the form of that biotic field from Echo still, and the tires tonight. Once again, a Junkrat coming out and claiming the stage for here in the multi-tier tournament.
Now, Neptune coming back in, trying to make something happen. Rambix going down early though. Rez is available. They're just going to get him right back up, and they've got both their Amp Matrix as well as a whole hog online. This could be a nasty combo if they can find room to use it. No, the Amp Matrix is thrown way in the back. Oh, I worry about that placement. Echo still comes up with the rockets, landing the Helix down right on Rambix. He drops. Coalescence thrown out on the side of the defense as well. No more Reinhardt, as once again, Neptune look a little disorganized, a little unfocused, and getting demolished for their trouble. Lord Shiatsu just still in no man's land here.
Yep. Now he finally gets taken down with his Dragon Strike coming online. Good, nice little hook there from Tue, but he does not do enough with it, and he has to get out. Better part of Valor getting out of there right now. So, I mean, you've got almost a 5-pack of ults ready to go online for Neptune as the push coming into the point needs to be a concerted effort, because right now Tue is just taking so much damage, and he's just feeding ultimates into the side of Seattle Peaks. I'm scratching my head a little bit here.
Gravitic Fox coming in to open things up for the defense. He gets the Reinhardt with VAP, the healing coming through. It does look like Supa's going to survive for the meantime. Now here comes that tire. This tire could be a different story. Can he get the Fire Strike on it? No, he does not get the Fire Strike off in time. Now there's the res steal available, but with their Reinhardt down, I'm surprised. I'm surprised the defense didn't get more aggressive on that. They're content to just sit back and let the members of the attacking team run into their LOS. Still, that is 2 ultimates used here for the defense. 30 seconds online for the offense.
Yep, and they still have that all-important Death Blossom, but he's just standing back here behind the line, just taking damage once again. for the side of Neptune. He's got to drop it. He's got to use it at some point.
Teleporting across. He looks like he's going to go in from the back of Mega. Here comes the Death Blossom. That gets 2. He gets stunned out of it, but the damage had been done. Moira Soldier down. The Brig not able to react in time. Now he turns around, follows it up with a kill onto the Brig. Discorded with a little help from that Zenyatta. He cleans out the trap. Oh! Mania doing work here on the Reaper. Able to keep Neptune's hopes alive here on Volskaya Industries.
Now they do get 3 minutes for the contest into point B, but I mean, you've got 3 online right now. You got 3 ultimates online for the side of Neptune. So let's get in here. Let's get this point and take it into extra innings, because you never know what happens in extra innings. We've seen it turn so many times on Volskaya that things can happen.
They've got to get in here with some time, though. They cannot let the overtime wick start burning, or they're going to have to put up a 5-minute, 6-second hold, full hold, in order to stave off the 3-0. They've got Transcendence. They've got both 2 support ults, 2 tank ults coming into this. They need to make something happen here and now. They need to find a way to survive Protocol, eliminate this tire. We'll see how they choose to use their plethora of ultimates they've got online. Pathing around left side. Protocol jumping up into the top. Here comes the tire. No fire strike on it. Oh, Rambix pays for it. Now, they do trade out. Protocol drops, but Transcendence was in the pocket of Rambix on that Zen, and that's just too important an ultimate to push in without having that utility. You've got to wait for that Zenyatta to come back.
But if you look at the members, I mean, the fire strike accomplishes one. I mean, he gets the main tank there, but
they are going to go and throw dragons in. They do pick up the kill. We're going to get Valkyrie combined with the whole hog, but Echo still answering right back. Finds 2, nay 3 with the tack visor there on the Soldier. Rambix does eventually take him down and is able to throw his Transcendence into the mix. Worry it's too little too late. Just a Reinhardt left on this objective, and now the Reinhardt forced to run in and try to make something happen all by himself. And once again, Neptune just looking discombobulated and lost here on point B Volskaya.
And it took 2 ultimates. 2 ultimates to hold against almost 4 coming from Neptune.
That was their chance. Now they have nothing left in the bank. This is going to be an uphill battle. Seattle Peaks in prime positioning here to win Volskaya in the match 3-0.
Yep, and it's just the discombobulated nature of their attack they're playing right now.
2 split. It's just 2 split.
It's 2 split.
All right, now Mania coming back in, looking for something low on the Reaper, but then you have the Wrecking Ball diving into the high ground, rolls forward. Why'd you roll forward? Right into the breath of their team. Oh my goodness, Wrecking Ball, you needed to roll back. Never mind rolling into 6 members of the opposition. Free Reign Dragons, Gravitic Flux thrown into the mix. Neptune just caught off on the side. Now it's just their 2 healers left alive. Oh, the poor healers. Oh, the poor healers.
Yeah,
15 seconds on the clock. Yeah, that was the previous attack. The one before last, that was Neptune's chance.
Yep, and Lord Shiatsu just standing up here rather than trying to get some clicks into the head. I think he's waiting for his team to kind of aggress in there with 2 seconds to go. Last second touch there from the Cowboy. Oh, man.
Wrecking Ball moving in as well. We are getting the Shatter coming out. Super Hot only finds 1 and pays for it with his life. The Supercharger there on the side of the defense. And the tanks, they cannot last through all the damage coming through from the other side. Protocol, Echo still both landing shots true. And that overtime work is going to burn. We're headed to map 4, 3-0, Seattle Peaks.
Yep, 3-0 Seattle Peaks. I mean, that was a foregone conclusion. If we look at the run of play that we've seen so far tonight, the discombobulated, disjointed, separated nature of the side from Neptune Esports is it's head scratching because I mean, what is Overwatch 101 but play with your team, play behind your shields? I mean, you can go on a flank now and again, but you can't be that far behind or away from your healing core to be able to be any kind of successful, unless you're dropping a Deadeye or you're dropping a Dragon Strike across the team. The ultimates that were used, they were used weirdly, just kind of hoping and praying that it caught somebody rather than actually setting up what you're going to do with it.
Right.
I mean, Lord Shiatsu dropped 2 Dragon Strikes in there. He was the only person up there. There was no ability to follow up with it. So that being said,
I mean, no pulse to use to try to combine with it. I mean, it seemed to be no setup, no corral to try to force the defense into a corner and then throw the dragons over them once they're corralled back. Of it just, like you said, kind of just spraying and praying there, for lack of a better term, with the ultimates coming out of Neptune.
Spraying and praying sounds like a very bad 80s band.
Well, typically referring more to just holding down the trigger on a full auto weapon in an FPS, but I mean it's essentially what they're doing here with their ultimates. You feel like they're pulling the trigger before they're aiming, just as a metaphor for the entirety of their behavior. They're not setting up what they want to do. They're attacking and then trying to decide who do we want to attack. In Overwatch, that will get you punished every step of the way, and Seattle Peak's right there to oblige them with that punishment.
Yeah, I mean, and their focus fire is so bloody good right now. Maybe they got popped in the face in the first couple of matches, and maybe they went back to the drawing board and decided, maybe we need to scrim more, maybe we need to get a little bit more work in. But what the record coming in for Seattle Peaks does not belie what they have done tonight. They are putting a clinic on right now of how to play this game as a team. As I swap teams around here and get the people where they belong.
I mean, despite the fact that both these teams coming in with the same record of 1-2, there is definitely a clear disparagement between them and a clear skill difference level, at least that was being put on for us here tonight. Every team has an off team. Every hero pool can throw your plans just into wreckage with a quickness. But from my example here, week 4, Seattle Peaks, they don't seem to have to deserve the 1-2 record. So certainly don't let that diminish your thinking of them, diminish your opinion on how strong this team is. Because right now, Seattle looking organized, looking efficient, and looking dominant.
Looking very dominant indeed, and they're going to go to 2-2 on this at the halfway point of this season, as we've now gotten the match win, the series win for Seattle Peaks as they go 3-0, up 3-0. Here, now it's just for a matter of map points. Do they go up 4? Do they get the full 4, which is going to propel them up in the standings in Tier 3? Or do they go 3-1? Does Neptune come back and get a map point here and kind of, maintain where they were at? So I do have the ready up for both sides. I just want to see something change here for Neptune. I want to see them.
Well, before we get into this, I do want to take a moment here, just kind of talk about what we could do, because I think Neptune absolutely has a chance to get themselves back into this thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's what I'd love to see. I would love to see Neptune just bounce right back, get themselves a map on the board, compose themselves, and see what you can give us. Because
every map is different.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is that every map is different and every composition for every map is different. I mean, you can feel comfortable on your comfort picks all day long, but I mean, we haven't seen May come out very much at all today. We haven't seen a Pharah. I don't think we've seen a Junkrat from Neptune today. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But
not, I mean, there's Neptune. I don't believe we saw a Junkrat on the side of Seattle early on.
Yeah. So my biggest thing right now is how do you finish? Do you finish strong or do you fold it up? That's my biggest thing right now.
Well, as we head into Route 66 or Route 66, we will get Neptune back on the offense, starting things off here. Looks like they're bringing us a little Reinhardt Hammond. Interesting combination. I do like it. You can get the Hammond in to disrupt while you still have the frontline presence of the Rhine. Lord Shiatsu going over to the sniper here. Doing a little high fly and acrobatics. Didn't quite find the shot they were looking for. On the side of the defense, double shield here in the name of Orisa Sigma. Get Protocol back on the Hanzo. Echo still back on the Soldier.
I'm getting good progress here. Already Rambix on this Wrecking Ball is actually creating a lot of havoc for the backline. Booping people away from where they want to be, booping them away from this high ground that they are really, really, really wanting to hold. And I mean, they've got really good progress moving in here on Route 66. So I like to see what I'm seeing. But as I say that, Protocol takes down the sniper in Lord Shiatsu, and it's a 5v5 right now.
Yeah, this is kind of just turned into a little bit of a devolved engagement here on the objective, as the defense doing a nice job of surrounding them around the exit of gas station here, and Neptune is struggling to find an opening. All right, ball's going to go ahead and go out. There you go. Nice pile drive from the ball. Earthshatter comes out, but there were 2 shields in your way. Now, we're going to get Halt Dragons coming through. Oh, and they run out of their immortality field. Oh, you were so close. The immortality field was there. Your Baptiste had you saved. B. Karas was doing his darndest, and you all back right on out of it. 4 kills coming through for Protocol on this Hanzo.
Well, Lord Shiatsu gets instantaneous satisfaction and revenge upon that man, but he does get the res up. But man, that's you like to see it.
Protocol trying to run back into safety now, was kind of caught out a little bit. The rest of his team had fallen back, and then Protocol answering right back, finding a headshot of his own, taking Mania out on the McCree. They do still have that sniper down there they need to worry about. But so far, Shiatsu with not much room to work, only 1 kill so far here in the opening of Route 66.
Now, my question is, why don't you swap over to the Junkrat right now? I know that you're getting a couple of frags, but are you having the game-changing performance that's required of the assassin? Because, yeah, I mean, you have no follow-up. Sights are good, I guess.
But even maybe a swap off of the McCree. You have McCree, Ana, and Widow all sitting in the far back while the front line is trying to make something happen. The Nanovus had gone onto the Reinhardt here, but Gravitic Flux came out from the defense. The front line couldn't last through it. And Echo still just a day at the shooting gallery. He's at the practice range almost, it seems, right now. Easy pickets and an easy hold coming through from Seattle Peaks. 60 seconds on the clock for Neptune.
If you want my advice, and I give my advice freely, you bring the Hanzo in, even though I think the Junkrat right now to take down the shields faster is the better play. And that Riptire is so much better of a controllable ult that you can actually drive it around and get in behind the shielding and drop it in there. So, yeah, it's just, oof. Maybe it's the hero pool.
Oh, they're going to be careful. The back cap. Wrecking Ball is back there. Okay, they are aware. They're watching the top of their screen. Immediately, Ryuku moves back, and they clean Wrecking Ball off there. At least scare him off momentarily. He gets halted. He gets rocked. He does manage to run out of there, or should I say roll out of there with his life. The rest of his team coming back in now. Mania does have a Deadeye online. Deadeye coming out directly. Got some damage down, but Ryuku finding the safety of his healing. Now Echo still dropping a Tech Visor in through the window. Nevertheless, gets deleted. Hanzo comes up with a big pick there. Lord Shiatsu landing shots, true, but is it enough? The Dragons coming out from Protocol, find one. Fetal position, able to get the kill onto the Hanzo. The DPS duo cleaning up here for Seattle Peaks. And this is going to be a full hold here on Route 66.
And it started out with such a great push. Rambix being able to deny the top of the garage to Seattle Peaks, but once they were wise to that, once they decided to go ahead and hold back against the opening of the tunnel, that took all that value away. And even though, you know, he did get that really big slam into them and took them out of it, a 4-piece coming from Protocol through the amplification matrix, despite the fact that they had the amplification or the immortality barrier up there. It only lasts so long, and it can only take so much damage, and the damage was done there, and I think that pretty much killed them at that point. So, 81.75 meters to make this a full sweep of Neptune Esports. You know, I was going to say bring out something with a lot of firepower. Yeah, you got that, but why do you pair it with a Sombra? Yeah, there we go. That's a better pick. Okay, they're debating me. It was a good pick. I think that the Bastion Junkrat actually does kind of make sense with the spam damage from both of them. You can't block everything.
Yeah, it's still the I mean, it just all just looks disjointed. You've got the Wrecking Ball out there paired with the Orisa. I mean, I can understand a Wrecking Ball Reinhardt on offense. You can definitely find some utility in that. But it looks like they're just going to go for the cheese, hold the mega composition here, put up the May walls, stall out the cart through the May walls and through the Orisa shield. But we haven't seen this comp viable since May got her nerfs.
Nope. May is so. I mean, she's still a demon. And I still dislike her
this
very
particular
much.
wall composition, I mean, you can just see how fast that wall gets whittled down. Orisa only has a 600 shield now instead of the 900 she had before, back when we saw this composition working in games like in Owl games and contenders and such. I worry if there's just not the sustain that this composition used to have for what they're trying to accomplish. Now, Anti coming through, they are going to find the kill on the Super Hot, who's moved over to that Mercy. At field position, does come up with that kill of his own, striking right back here for the attacking team in Seattle. They don't have long to go. Protocol finds himself one on the sniper, and this is just looking to be an easy snowball here on Rialto. Or Route 66, forgive me.
Now they've dropped the Orisa and gone with the Winston, so now we've got kind of a metal dive going on.
But Dive, you've got to behave as a hive mind. Dive mind, hive mind. And Winston, you can't just go solo diving onto that cart. You're only going to buy a couple seconds. You're better off waiting for your team.
Yep, that's just a head scratcher for me. And Rambix going in here gets slept, antied.
All the cooldowns. Protocol winning the Widow duel up in the high ground. Takes out his counterpart and just has the sights trained in there on the top of the entrance from the back end. 5 kills lighting up the feed. It's all blue. It's all Seattle Peaks, and this is going to be a 4-0 barring some cleanup.
Nope, that's the end of it.
No cleanup even necessary.
No cleanup necessary. That supercharger did its job, and the immortality barrier also did its job. So, bit of a one-sided affair here tonight in our second game of the doubleheader here in the 7th season of CGL multi-tier tournament. Your winners tonight: Neptune Esports going down to Seattle Peaks 4-0. Like I said, in a very one-sided affair. You got to go back to the drawing boards after this one and figure out what the heck just happened and how do we climb back from after this one. Put it on the other side though, Seattle Peaks definitely playing above their weight class as far as what their record coming into tonight was. But I mean, if you look at who they played, I mean, they played Estrantia, they played Lords Tier 3, they played Octalium. 2 of those teams went very far in off-season tournaments. Estrantia actually winning one. And then Lords Tier 3 is no scratch behind the head, and they actually beat them 3-2. So coming in here and going 4-0 on Neptune, I mean, this is a team that looks to be on the rise now. So we're going to keep an eye on this team from Seattle. I'd love to know if they're from the Capitol Hill area, if they're in the suburbs. I lived in Renton for about 6 years, and then I moved to Capitol Hill. But I'd love to know a little bit more about the Seattle team because they have a very promising team. They played together like a hive mind, and it was just one-way traffic for the most of the night.
Yes, indeedy. Seattle 4-0 here in the very clean sweep. Billy, who's going to be our MVP tonight? Who do you think enabled them to take that with such apparent ease?
Protocol.
Yeah, Protocol was going to be my vote as well. Seemed absolutely unstoppable, particularly on the Doomfist. Even with 2 hard counters thrown in against him, and I think he really got in their head. You saw McCree coming out a bit later where there was even no need for a McCree there on Route 66. Didn't even have to be on the Doomfist, and they're pulling out Doomfist counters. Protocol living rent-free there in Neptune's dome. He's going to be your player of the match here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Well, that is going to bring our broadcast to a close. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, my friends. It's been a fun match. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to cast it for you and to bring you all the action. Billy, fun as always. Thank you so much for joining me in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a great slate of games tonight, Tier 5, Tier 3. The first one was a barn burner, going the full distance, and we got our map 5, and we got Gongs of Death and everything else from that map. And then we had a minesweeper here.
Yep.
A steamroll.
Absolute steamroll. Well, we will be right back here tomorrow with another doubleheader coming at you starting at 7 o'clock Eastern. We will have Saga Dick Dicks taking on Apollo in the Tier 3 division. And then we're going to move over to the Tier 2 division there in our night game. That second game is going to be, that's Valor Glory taking on Experience Dankility in the Tier 2 division. So we hope to see all your friendly faces right back here on this channel tomorrow night. Until then, look out for each other in-game and out. And remember to wash your hands. Let's flatline this virus. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Love you guys.